We put a lot of effort into introducing at least a couple of new destinations that nobody's really heard of before. And how do we come by those?
So this year's index actually had quite a few brand new destinations that not only have never been in the index, we've just never covered them at all. And the way we stumbled upon those places was through our international network of contributors and trusted contacts all around the globe, who basically we talk to them all the time, and they tell us, oh, you should be really considering so-and-so destination. For example, our winner this year was brand new.
I was going to ask, would you mind telling us about some of the new destinations real quick?
Yeah, of course. So the winner was Comporta, Portugal, which I found out about when I went on a scouting trip to Portugal at the end of last year. And while I was there, I was meeting with various people and talking to different contacts. And I kept hearing about this place that was about an hour and a half south of Lisbon that is supposed to be amazing. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to go there during that trip, but I looked it up. I did a lot of research, and I spoke to people who had been there and confirmed that it was a great place for us to be covering. Not only that, it won the index, so that is another huge accomplishment for that place. A few of the other places, we talked about Ubud, which is an area of Bali, Indonesia. It's a non-coastal destination, which is kind of a shock. When you're talking about Bali, you think beaches, it must be in there because the beaches are so amazing.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it's a highland destination, so that was new. We also included Istria, Croatia. I know you guys you spent some time there, or you've invested in that region of the country. We covered, where else was new? I think Santa Marta was a brand new destination. Santa Marta, Colombia.
Yeah, I don't remember Santa Marta ever making it. That's in Colombia for
yes,
anybody
exactly.
And Santa Marta is actually on the Caribbean coast of Colombia, isn't it?
Yes, and that's the thing. Like when most people think about the Caribbean, Colombia doesn't really come to mind,
right?
Which is why Santa Marta is so cool, because it's kind of a local travel destination. People know about Cartagena, but not so much Santa Marta. It's more of the locals' alternative to Cartagena, which can be a bit overpriced and touristy. Cool. So that was another new one.
Wow, yeah, a lot more new this year than we've had in the past lately. So let's circle back to Comporta, because I know that Portugal has been the winner, whether it's the country overall or, some specific region or city has been winning. Portugal is our big winner for several years running now. So what was it that put Comporta over the edge over all of the other places we could have talked about in Portugal this year?
Well, a big factor is that it's in Portugal, which is such an amazing country for so many reasons. It's one of the safest countries in the world, which is a really big deal in today's world, especially for people from the United States. It's easy in terms of residency. It has, several routes you can take to get residency in the country. It's reasonable in terms of taxes, and it is affordable compared to much of Western Europe. So the fact that it's in Portugal, it already had a leg up on all these other places. As you know, the Algarve has been the winner for the past, God knows how many years, 8 years or so. And I did go to the Algarve during my trip, and basically Comporta stood out compared to the Algarve in that it is totally undeveloped. So it's nestled it's right below this environmentally protected area, which meant that development couldn't really happen. Plus, it has this complicated history of it being owned by one family for many, many years, a huge swath of the area. So it never saw major development. It stayed very rustic and rugged, which is, again, it's really hard to find in today's world. Like to find a beach town that doesn't have, hotels all along the beach or condo blocks.
Right, especially in Europe. You might find that if you travel for hours now, or even in Panama, where both of us have lived at where our Leos headquarters are, you can drive for 8 hours and get to the end of the country and you'll find a beach with no development. But in Europe, that's not quite so possible anymore, I wouldn't think.
No, so that's what makes it so special. And then there are other reasons, like it happens to be where Portugal grows all of its rice. So there's rice paddies everywhere, which I thought was so unique, because I think rice paddy and I think Southeast Asia.
Right.
So it has this really amazing landscape. lack of development. It's kind of a controversial choice. It may not be for everyone because it's not the Algarve. Like, it doesn't have that huge booming expat community, but that could be a positive or a negative depending on your preferences. Some people don't want to be in a condo complex where all their neighbors are from the UK, for instance, which might be the case depending on where you go in the Algarve.
Absolutely.